Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video we are going to be getting ready together. This is going to be a 3-in-1: makeup, outfits, and fragrance, accessories and stuff like that. So if you want to see how today's video goes down, carry on watching and let's get right into it. Okay, let's get into it. I'm going to start off with putting gel in my eyebrows, and this is going to keep my eyebrows in place so that when I clean them up and fill them in, they're going to stay good. I want my eyebrows to be on fleek today. I'm going in with the MAC concealer palette. I'm going in with the shade NC45 and my Evita Joseph Precision Concealer brush. I'm going to use that to clean the bottom part of my brows and, just to make sure it's nice and neat. My eyebrows look that way because I've had them microbladed. Also, I'm filling them in because my eyebrows with makeup look different from my eyebrows without makeup. So yeah, I'm just buffing the concealer in with the Real Techniques Deluxe Crease brush. I'm gonna go ahead and set that concealer down with my setting brush from Real Techniques and the Huda Beauty Easy Bake Powder in the shade Banana Bread. For my brows today, I'm using the Evita Joseph Expert Brow Liner in the shade Rich Espresso. I'm gonna lightly fill my eyebrows in. For the top part of my brows, I'm using the shade NC50 from the same MAC concealer palette. I'm going to use that to clean the top part of my brows. I'm also using the Precision Concealer brush from Evita Joseph. Cleaning that up as well and buffing that in with my Real Techniques Deluxe Crease brush. So I'm going to start off with my base. I intended doing my eye makeup first, but I changed my mind. I'm using the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. This is an amazing dupe for the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. They work the same, but the e.l.f. is slightly stickier and the Milk Hydro Grip is a little more hydrating in my opinion. If you find that I keep smiling and laughing, it's because I'm watching something and I just wanted to distract myself while doing my makeup. For foundation, I'm using a skin tint today from Fenty. I'm using the shade 18 and I'm gonna buff that into my skin with my Real Techniques buffing brush. I'm also going back in with a damp sponge. The sponge is from Morphe. I'm going all over my face to pick up any excess skin tint or foundation. This just makes my skin look really good. For concealer, I'm using the Too Faced Born This Way concealer in the shade Butterscotch. I'm gonna put that at the under eye area, my chin, mustache area, the bridge and the tip of my nose, as well as my forehead, and I'm gonna let that sit. For cream contour, I'm using the stick foundation from Juvia's Place in the shade Sokoto. I'm gonna apply that on my temple areas and my forehead, the hollows of my cheekbones, and my chin and jawline area, and I'm gonna buff that in while I allow the concealer to sit. And then I'm going in with another Real Techniques brush. This is the Soft Accent brush. I'm using that to buff in the concealer. Now back in with the sponge, I'm gonna go ahead and pick up any excess concealer just to make sure everything is looking airbrushed and seamless. I'm going in with the Juvia's Place liquid foundation. I'm gonna put that on the apples of my cheeks. This is in the shade Pink Lady, by the way, and I'm going in with my Real Techniques contour brush to buff the liquid blush into my skin. Now I'm just going back in with my concealer brush to make sure that the under eye area is blended in very well. And then I'm going in with a brush to blend out my nose contour. I'm also going back in with the brush that I used to blend out my foundation to make sure everything is nice and seamless, and then back in with a sponge to make sure everything is nice and seamless. I go back and forth with brushes and sponges just to make sure that my makeup is blended in, because I don't like any harsh lines or lines of demarcation on my face, especially if I have to go somewhere and people are going to be up close and personal with me. I want my makeup to look really good. Now this is the secret to a flawless under eye. I really like the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Powder. This is very light. You can get a shade that is closer to your skin tone, but I like a bright under eye. I use that to set my concealer under my eye. I just use it to set the concealer under my eye and nowhere else. For the rest of my face, I use a loose powder, the powder from Huda in the shade Banana Bread. I'm using the same powder puff, and I'm just using that to push the powder into my skin. So what I do for my under eye area after using a pressed powder to set that area is to go in with a loose powder to bake. It might be too much for you, but I feel like if you're doing full glam, you can just like try this tip and see if it works out for you. So for the rest of my face, I'm going in with a pressed powder that is my skin tone, and I'm using a big powder brush from Real Techniques. I'm using that to set the rest of my face. I have oily skin, so whenever I apply a cream or a liquid, I need to go ahead and set that down with powder. I'm also going back in with a powder bronzer from Juvias Please in the shade Tan. I'm using that to set down wherever I applied the cream contour earlier and also the sides of the bridge of my nose. Now, this is when I like to bake. Baking is not for everybody, but I really like to bake, especially if I do my base before my eye makeup, so that I don't have the eye makeup falling on my base and messing that up. If you're not the baking girly, you can go ahead and do your eye makeup before you do your base, so you don't have to stay too long with powder on your face. But baking, especially with the Huda beauty powder, is really, really good. So now I'm going in to do my eyeshadow. I'm going to prime my eyelids with the Too Faced Born This Way concealer in the shade Chestnut, and I'm going to put that into my eyelids with a sponge to pick up any excesses and do some blending simultaneously, because I don't want to have a lot of concealer on my eyelids. I'm also going to set that down with a light layer of powder from Huda, the same powder I've been using since the beginning of this tutorial, so that we have a clean, fresh base for the eyeshadow. I'm using my Juvia's Place eyeshadow palette, and I'm going in with that pink shade. I'm going to put that all in my crease. And then I'm going in with a darker burgundy color, and I'm going to put that on my outer V area. So I used the blushed eyeshadow palette and the berries eyeshadow palette from Juvia's Place. I used the two eyeshadow palettes for this eye look. You can use just one eyeshadow palette. I am extra, so I like to do that. So I'm going in with the darker, very dark color from the berry palette, and I'm layering down on top of the outer V just to darken up my outer V just a little bit. I'm also going in with that shimmer shade, and I'm gonna put that on my eyelids, slightly doing a full cut crease with my Evita Joseph flat brush. Then I'm going back into the blushed palette with that really light shimmer, and I'm gonna put that at the inner corners and then link that in with the darker pink shimmer that I use just to have an ombre effect going on the eyes. Now I'm just going back in with the dark burgundy color just to smoke out the edges so we can have a pink smoky eye going. Now I'm using a matte black to line my lash line. Feel free to use a liquid eyeliner if that works for you. I really like using a matte black to line my eyelids because it's easier to control. So I'm going to create a tiny wing. Now I'm going in with a black eyeliner to tightline my eyes to give my look a darker appearance, and I'm going in with the dark burgundy color from the Berries palette, and I'm using that to smoke out the lower lash line. Now we are going ahead to dust off any fallout. This is when baking is actually really good because it catches any fallout and it doesn't mess up your makeup. I'm also going in to blend the powder that I used to bake. And I'm going in with a big powder brush that I used earlier with no extra products. I'm just using that to blend everything into my skin. Now I'm layering blush. I'm using my Juvia's Place blushed palette and I'm going in with that pink. I'm putting that on top of where I applied my liquid blush earlier. It is eyelash time, so I'm just applying that onto my lash line where I put the matte eyeliner. For setting spray, I'm using the Airbrush Flawless Finish from Charlotte Tilbury. I'm just going to bathe in that. Literally, I bathe in setting spray, especially if I have to go somewhere. I literally use a lot of setting spray because I use a lot of powder. Now I'm cleaning up any product on my lips, and I'm gonna go ahead and use a dark lip liner to line my lips. I'm also going in with my Juvia's Place dark brown lip liner. I think this is called Luxe Lip Liner in the shade, I literally forgot the name of the shade, but probably I will link it down below. Also, I'm going in with my Wet n Wild highlighter. I'm putting that at the usual places, the high points of my cheekbones, brow bone, inner corners, tip and the bridge of my nose, and probably a little bit on my Cupid's bow. This look came together so well. I really like how this came out. It was so pretty. For the center of my lip, I used my liquid blush from Juvia's Place and I put that at the center and I just blotted that out because I wanted my lips to look really pink, like a soft baby pink. And then I went over with my Fenty Gloss Bomb Cream in the shade Bubblegum Binge, and yeah, I just brought everything together. I'm going into a little bit of mascara, and this is the end of the video. This look came together so well. This is my outfit and how everything came together. I would link and give you guys a discount code for this fabric. It's from GTP. Thank you so much for watching and hanging out with me today. I'll see you guys in my next one. Take care, guys. Bye.